Okay, so I decided I'm gonna film making pickles that are probiotic. I used to make pickled vegetables with vinegar, but I found out that you lose the most of the probiotic effect because then the good bacteria, the lacto, can't grow in the vinegar solution. And this, so now it's just salt water, a little bit more salt, and I leave it out on the table for a bit longer. So what I usually do is I have those huge white carrots they have here in Taiwan. This time I already made a batch before. This time I'm going to use cucumbers, and I have the other ingredients: chilies. I usually buy the whole chili and chop it up, and or even have my own chilies growing outside, but that's all they had in the store. And garlic, dill seeds, and salt. I just use normal salt. I know some people say you should use pickling salt, but it works fine. I've done it many times. And of course, the pickle jar. That used to be Vlasic. That's my favorite pickle you buy in the store. They don't. It's very hard to find it here now. All right, so that's the ingredients. So first thing I do, of course, have to take out the cucumbers and wash them. I don't know why they sell them in these packs. Everything here is packaged. Anyhow, you need to take them out and wash them. Everything else is ready. I don't need to chop up the chilies are already chopped up. I will need to do the garlic though. So I'm gonna wash them now. Just do a quick job. There's probably too many, but whatever. I'll just eat them for salad or something. Oh, why can't things be simple? Okay, so now I'm going to chop them up, start throwing them into the pickle jar. I need some space. Okay, you do whatever size chunks you want. And just dump them in. I usually do till about halfway up, and then I start putting in the chilies, and the garlic, and the dill. But for now, I'll do one more. Okay, I lied. Two more. Okay, that's not quite half up, but I'm gonna start putting the other stuff in. So the dill seeds, I shake it a few times. It's not real precise. Whoa, okay, that was probably a bit too much. So I don't know if you can see they're just speckled on top there. All right, next, now, it's kind of silly. I've never gotten chilies like this in a pre-cut. All right, so I'm just gonna, I usually do 2 chilies. I'm gonna try and eyeball it. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, that should be enough. All right, next, the garlic. Okay, the garlic. I usually use, depending on how big they are, if they're really fat ones, maybe 4 or 5. If they're smaller ones, like these are smaller, fairly small. So I'll put like 6 or 7, maybe 8. Why don't I just put the whole clove? Oh, that is quite a lot. So maybe these will be very strong garlicky pickles. All right, I'm not going to show all, but I'll do a couple of them. Okay. Okay, one more. Okay, I'll do the rest. Okay, so I chopped them all up. I took them all out. Now I'm gonna chop them all up. I usually make the pieces fairly small. Because, I don't know, I think that it will let more flavor out of the garlic. Although I guess if you leave it in for long enough, it wouldn't really matter that much. All right, that's probably good enough. Okay. Drop some. So we put them in. Oh, this is going to be really, really garlicky. I don't usually put that much in. Okay, so that's the garlic. Then I do the rest of the cucumbers, and then I fill it up so it goes all the way to almost to the top, not all the way to the top. See if I can do 3 at once, make it go faster. Okay, oh, this might not be enough. Yeah, it's definitely not enough. Okay, well, I'll have to get the other pack. Okay, wash them. I hope actually, now that, yeah, that should be enough. Okay. Yeah, it's probably a little bit more than enough. Maybe I can shake it so it goes down a little bit. And they settle. I might be able to get the rest of them in. Okay. Now they're up almost all the way to the top. There's a little bit of space. You have to cover them all the way in the saline, otherwise they get mold. All right, now the salt. Let me dry my hands. Okay, so for the salt, I get a measuring cup. I usually go to 50. When I used to use vinegar. But now without it, I use a little bit more. It's Taiwan, it's hot and humid usually. It's cooling down a little bit right now, the weather's better, but anyway, I put a bit more just to not risk them going bad. Okay, so that's about 50, and I put a little bit more. So it's maybe 60. That's about right. I'll put a little bit more, just a little bit. Okay. And then I pour right on top. And when I did it with vinegar, I used to take a whole cup of vinegar and pour it in, and then add the water. Now I'm just going to be adding the water. All right, I need to go and get the water because of my long story. Anyway, I get the water and I'll be right back. Okay, and then you just pour it in on top of the salt. The salt all dissolves and goes down. And you just keep pouring until you reach the top. All of the pickles have to be underneath the water, so that none of it is exposed and starts to mold. That's happened to me a couple of times. When I left it too long, and even in the fridge, it got mold on the top. I had to throw it out. So you have to make sure all of it is underneath the water. And so I usually fill it up almost right to the brim. And that way, I don't have to worry about it. Okay, I think one more. One more. No, a little bit more. And okay. I don't know if you can see, the water goes almost right to the top, right to the rim. Okay, that's it. I close it up. Sometimes I'll shake it around, mix it up a little bit. Oh, a little bit came out. This doesn't seal very well, apparently. They're getting old. I probably should get new ones. All right, and that's it. And I just have it sit on the table, and I wait 3 days, maybe 4 days. And it depends on how hot. It's not so hot right now. And then I put them in the fridge. You have to check every day. You open it up, and then these bubbles come up from the bacteria starting to grow and produces gases. And I let them out, and I close it back up, still making sure all of the cucumbers are below the water. And then that's it. Then I let it sit in the fridge and use it whenever I need it. There you go.